Okay. So now we're at the good parts. You have already figured out your niche. You have already figured out your target market, and your customer. So now you are ready to get to the logistics of the business. We are ready to name our business. So the first thing you want to do when you're thinking about naming a business is to check to see if that name that you have in mind is available. You're going to check the domain by Googling domain name search. You can use any domain name search platform that you want, and just type in that domain. So if you want myperfecthair.com, you'll have to type that in to see if it's available. It will tell you if it's available, and it'll also tell you how much it costs. You also want to immediately check the Instagram, Facebook, all the social medias, TikTok, all that stuff to make sure it's available, and it's going to tell you. And just do a Google that name that you have in mind and see what pops up, because sometimes they may not have the domain, but somebody still may be operating a business similar to that name. So you may see them they may have the Instagram page taken, but they didn't buy the domain yet. So sometimes you kind of just want to get a total picture of if somebody really taking over that. And sometimes you will find that the names that other people have, they're in a totally separate field than you. So you can still potentially use them. You just have to find ways around it. So do your research and see what comes up for that name. Now, if it's a name that you see plenty of pages using that name, I would avoid it, because I don't even want people getting me mixed up thinking that I'm this business or I'm another business. I don't even want to get us mixed up. So I would just steer clear of that and don't do it at all. So for people who really don't have any knowledge about business, e-commerce, the domain is the official website address. It needs to be simple. It needs to be easy to get to and easy to remember. Okay. You need to have a professional email to go along with this business name. You need to have, and when you register your business, you need to make sure this name is available too. And like I said, in the same industry, we want to have all these things professionally, and we want them all to match. We don't want it to be like your Instagram is Her Perfect Hair, and then your domain is Shop Hair Today. No, that don't go together. It needs to be consistent. You need to be able to say, I'm at Her Perfect Hair on all platforms. herperfecthair.com. That's how you should be able to talk about your business, so that people can be easy to find you. Because if people got to go Googling and searching for you, in their mind, you done already lost me. I don't even want to buy from you no more, because I'm doing too much work to have to go find you. Because I thought you was at Her Perfect Hair, but you at something totally different. So at this point, forget it. And that's how they're going to treat it. So go search around and look. And if it's available, you could go ahead and secure it. You don't even have to post anything, but you can go ahead and secure the social media pages if they're available, just to go ahead and do it. I'm going to show you how to do the domain, the email, and the registration, so you don't have to worry about that right now, because I do want you to go through the steps to do it, but it's all going to be one right behind the next. So that's what we're doing now. Like I said, don't make it too long or complicated. Make it easy to identify what you sell. So you see, I kept saying Her Perfect Hair. Hair is in the description. People know when they come to that page or when they come to that website, it got something to do with hair. Now, it may not have the specific niche in it, but they still know it's hair. So they already know what they're coming to get. So be specific now, but still be unique. Like I said, if everybody using the name, don't use the name. So be unique, but still try to contain it a little bit. You don't always have to. There are big brands that have stuff like that don't have nothing to do with nothing. L'Oreal, like that, you would not know that was hair. You wouldn't know. So, hair products, you wouldn't know that at all. So if you want to keep something, but it's so distinct that when people hear it, they automatically gonna know what it is because of the branding. So it's no way you can mix them up with nobody else, because nobody else has a brand called L'Oreal. Like, it's so unique that it automatically stand out anyway, because it's one of its own. It's one of a kind. So you can do it that way too. Either way, okay? Either way. Okay. So branding basics. Print out and answer all the questions in order to develop your brand identity. Okay? I have put together this SWOT analysis right here, and a branding style guide as well. It's all in the course materials, so you should have it too. Print those out, fill them out in its entirety, and it will help you get together the branding basics of how to brand your company, how to set your brand apart from other companies out there. So for the SWOT analysis, SWOT is basically strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You have to identify these in terms of your competition, because you need to know what you're working with. You and your brand is going to have competition. Everybody has competition. If you don't have competition, then that means you're entering a new market, which is sometimes isn't that good. But you want to identify your competitors. Who are they? Write them down. Write down the names. Know their websites, know their Instagram pages. You need to know who they are, because your competition sometimes help you to stay abreast. Like, they help you stay aware of what's going on too. So you're like, okay, they're doing this. This is how they're capturing customers. It helps you to stay up to date with things too, and stay on top of your game. You need to know who they are. You need to know how y'all compare to each other. So what's your strengths compared to this brand? What's your weaknesses? What are some things that you can do better? Those are the opportunities. What opportunities can I have in this space, in this niche, that I could do better than my competition? What are some of the threats? What are some of the stuff that they're doing so well that you're just not there yet? That may be a threat, but that doesn't mean, you just need to be aware of it, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to get to that point one day. So once you identify your competition, you have to start to put together your brand. How are you going to set yourself aside from the rest? You have to be specific. You have to really look into how you want your brand to look, how you want your brand to feel. You need to think about how you want people to view your brand. When they hear the name of your brand, what do you want them to instantly think about? You need to have some visual elements put in place so that they know, oh, when I see black and white polka dots, I know that that's associated with that brand. Or when I see that specific logo, that's that brand's logo. I can identify specific fonts that they may use, colors that they may use. Like, you make yourself noticeable. That's what branding is. Branding is making yourself noticeable. So there is a sheet that I also put together just for reference. So it's something like this. Up here, you have the main logo. Then you have logo variations. When in my IG profile, I may have a circle photo, but this may be at the top of my website. You need to set a certain mood for your brand. So, like, what kind of feel do you want? Do you want it to be like luxury, upscale? Do you want your brand to be like calming and soothing? Do you want it to be flashy and loud? Do you want it to be energetic? These are things that you have to think about. That all goes with the mood and the colors. Everything work together collectively to paint a picture for your customer of what you want your brand to look like and what you want people to feel when they come into contact with your brand. It all plays a part. The visuals, the graphics is going to determine what type of images you show on your social media, what type of images you have on your website. What are some of the verbiage and words that you're using when you're communicating with them? Everything needs to tie in together. You're going to have specific fonts. You're going to keep them consistent when you're talking to your customers so they'll know. And of course, sometimes you can change fonts on the website and do different variations and things like that. But the important part is that that you create an entire mood that people really, really, really can identify with, and they automatically know when they come to your page, this is what I'm getting. This is what this brand is about. This is how this brand makes me feel. It doesn't matter what order you put them in, as long as everything looks good together and everything is cohesive and your brand looks cohesive and good together. And you may can get the opinions of a few people. You may can even email me and see if I can give you an opinion about it. That's something I would do. I mean, if I have time, depending on what it is. But if you have people around you, not necessarily people who aren't in that business space, but more people who's like a little bit experienced with branding and things like that, then ask them, hey, what do you think about this once you put it all together? So just search some images, think of some color schemes, put it all together, and make it cohesive. So how are you going to do that? The most important thing that I recommend nowadays is Canva.com. Like, you literally can do everything with Canva, everything. So anything that you need to create, when you create that branding guide that I just showed you, use Canva. You can go in there and actually type in branding, and it will show you guides that's just like the one that I just put in there. And all you literally have to do is change the colors, change the font to the way you want it, so that you can easily like structure your branding. They have different images in there. You can look up a whole bunch of different photos. They have different fonts. Like, they literally have everything. Everything that you see in this course that is bolded right here is a clickable link. All you have to do is click it, but it's easy to just get there anyway. Canva.com, I made it plain and simple for you. Go there to do anything creative. You can see right here all the different things that they have. They have editable templates. Basically, like I said, all you're doing is changing the colors and putting your own information in. They have social media stuff, stories, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, covers. They already have the dimensions already put in. So literally, you don't have to do a lot of work with these things. That you can go here for all type of business cards, marketing, presentations, like the one that I'm doing was created in Canva. All is educational stuff. Like, it is so much. You can actually, if you are skilled enough, you can actually do your own logo in Canva. But I don't really recommend that, only because you don't want your logo to really look like anybody else's. You want to have a unique logo that you could then copyright later or trademark later. And it gets a little iffy with logos in Canva, but everything else is good. Okay, definitely create a Canva account. You can get a free Canva account too. But I definitely recommend Pro, because with Pro it's unlimited. You could do everything with Pro, and it's only, I think, $12 a month. It's really not pricey at all. Pay the $12, do everything you need to do with Canva. The next service that I would recommend is Fiverr.com. Create a Fiverr account. If you're not savvy, you like, hey, I don't want to be on Canva trying to design this. I don't want to be on Canva doing these things. Go to Fiverr.com and you can outsource help from people. So basically, you can pay other people as low as $5 to get your logo done, your branding, your style guides, all these things. You just need to be very specific with them and tell them what you want when you contact them. You go to Fiverr.com, you search in whatever you're looking for. Go to Fiverr.com, type in logos. You find somebody, you look at their aesthetic, and you're like, okay, I like the type of work this person do. I don't like the type of work that person do. When you reach out to the person that you do like what they do and the price looks good, just contact them and tell them everything that you want. And be specific. You can even send them reference photos, things like that. So, but it's going to take for you to look around, browse the work, see which ones you like, see which ones you identify with. And sometimes you'll get people who's not that good, and you may have to cancel an order. But that's okay. I've had to do that. You cancel it, move on. If they're not providing what you paid for, what you think you deserve. So, tell them your business name, your colors, any type of patterns that you have, any type of prints that you recommend. Like you can tell them, hey, I want this in cursive font. I want this, I want it to be energetic. I want you to use yellow. Like, be very specific with them so that they can really get stuff done. Now, sometimes you may say, well, I want you to be a little creative and add your touch on it. That's cool too, but you still need to give them some work and information to work on, because you can't just say, this is my brand name. Can you just do whatever with it? Like, no, use all the research you did to find your niche market, your target customer. Think of things and elements that they're going to design, they're going to identify with, and incorporate those into the logo. Sometimes you may just use words for your logo, but do you want it big, bold words? Do you want it, like I said, cursive words? You have to be able to tell them what you want. It's going to make it easier for you and them. You're going to get what you want much quicker. But yes, Fiverr.com is a great resource. I use them. I got a few of my logos from them. So they're great if you find the right people. Do your research, look at the reviews, look at the prices, all that good stuff, and the reference photos. Look at everything before you decide.